What do you mean by God? When I was younger, I had a certain aversion to the word God. To me, he was a character and nothing more, an anachronistic being full of rage, displaced in popular culture as the central figure of our shared narrative. Put off by this oppressive idea in the evangelical lawmaking of my country, God was a dirty word to my increasingly jaded, atheistic mind. And yet today, a lifetime of experiences later, I find myself using this word often, but almost never to describe a character. Yes, a god or goddess is still a type of being in my vernacular, but more often the word takes the place of something unknowable, something impossible to capture with words. And yet I am cursed to try. This is my Sisyphean task. Upon my first expansion of faith, I beheld an angel, standing in the room with me mere feet away, something I could not see in the traditional sense, but rather manifested in my sixth sensory organ, mind. I was not prepared. I had slipped into meditative trance by total accident, and now I was face to face with the divinity which I had previously denied. At this moment, my definition of God changed. This was not a character. This was not the biblical God, nor Michael, Raphael, Uriel, or the many mouths of Azrael. But it was, without a lack of certainty, a shining manifestation of God. Pure love was my new God, and today it is still a fair definition. A feeling came to my heart and said simply, "This is it. This is always it." I did not perceive God as a being separate from us, but more a river, always running, into which I could place my heart at any desired moment. The water laps up and splashes your face when your child is born, when your friend takes your shaking hand and says, "Weep into my body." When the sun sets behind the mountains, the cold air hits your nose, you know that you are alive and a part of the great design and never apart from it. The water touches you to remind you you are the water too, a rivulet into the river, into the ocean. And how beautiful it is to be a stream full of fish and colored stones, forging your own path briefly before returning to the mouth of. And so God is a body. It is the shape of the universe, a perfect system of organs and blood in constant motion, pumping ichor and air through the vessels of systemic respiration. Are you not your blood, young one? Are you not your liver, your brain, your still beating heart? Are you not a system of egos circulating through the circuitry, climbing on top of each other, claiming certainties and doubts from an infinite mouth? Does your mind not contain multitudes, infinite realms of possibility born from worry, dreams, and soothsaying, a storytelling machine rich in conflict and kindness? Does your heart not overflow with an infinite wealth of love and gratitude, an attitude of grace obscured only by the inconvenience of humanhood and a human face? Are you not a body containing bodies inside a body of infinite bodies embodied that it might experience infinite bodies embodied by models of micro-antibodies embroidered in ebony, bodied in a bag at the end of the line, a toe tag which says, "I'll see you in time, when you are the ashes at the root of my friends, and again you exist in the body of my mind." And so, God is everything. God is the infinite. God is what is and not what isn't. But since the isn't exists still as a concept at all, God must be it as well. God must be all. God is every face, every emotion, every embrace and evil notion, every open hand and closed fist, every clash of horns and every therapist. God is in the house. God is in the ink which drips from my mouth. God is in the chat which preys upon the mouse and the red-pilled loser who preys upon a spouse. God is in the priest who prays, the taxed who pay, and the rich who sit and stay, seated on thrones made from God bones, with God paper banknotes insulating their souls. God is now, motherfucker. God is now, then, and forever. And so, God is you. You did it. Kiss me, Son of God. We are Jesus Christ in American clothing, Hanuman, an American drag. They did it. They said the thing. I can say it. I can look at it. I can sit with it. I can know it. I can love it. I can fear it. I can hold it. I can separate myself from it. I can ask it to be a body, be a feeling, be a time, be a character in my mind. But God vibrates through every aspect of my life, and what has been learned cannot be unlearned. So I must be a body, for now, a body. I must know love and deliver such to the animals in my vicinity. I must deliver love like nourishing water. I must wet the lips of my participants and my lovers. I must be infinite in my compassion. I must be now in my presence and collection of notions and actions. I must be my eternal self as well as the self sat on the shelf behind the collection of poetry and books on self-help. And if you will allow a peek behind your mask, I might see God in you at last. The Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for weekly content on spirituality, philosophy, poetry, and more. Thank you to my patrons and complete club members: Flem de the Fleming, Chris Curious, Martina Duran, Transcending Void, and Walking on Cats. If you are in a position to help grow the channel, please consider joining these fine folks at patreon.com/American Dragon. I appreciate you, I love you, and I will see you next time.